So I just finished the documentary about Wade Wilson, a prominent serial killer. And the only takeaway that I got from that documentary is that women are fundamentally unserious people. The older I get, the more that I hear stories about female nature, the more I realize why most of society around the world, since the beginning of time all the way up to now, keep and kept women on a very short leash and limited the amount of power and freedom that they could have. Feminists and leftists want to tell you how it was oppression, and it is oppression, and it's oppressive, and women didn't have rights, and women weren't allowed to do this and that and this. And you want to know why? It seems that way. Is because men had to protect women from themselves. This isn't oppression. This isn't hatred. This was never anything to actually downgrade women. It was to uplift women by keeping them away from going into their caveman brain and acting impulsively. This documentary shows how bad women cannot control their impulses and how naturally they will gravitate towards the worst people. They will defend and fall in love with the worst people. And it's not a phenomenon that is brand new. Oh no. This isn't new by far. Which begs the question, if we've known this about women, why have we given them so much? Which I do know why. The government, right? The CIA, the sexual revolution, the feminist movement, all these women that led those and all the men behind those women who supported it, they were just industry plants. None of that shit was natural. The government knew, we need more money. And we only have half of the country realistically in the workforce paying most of the taxes. We need a whole new other slave class of taxpayers. So why don't we tell women that they're oppressed being married? Marriage is oppressive. It's oppressive for them to raise a family, to cook for their man, to love men. They have no freedom. They can't work. They can't get education. You know, they spread all this propaganda to women while their men were out in World War II, right? Fighting to defend these women. And then they come back home and the women are burning their bras, saying, we don't need you. And they just got back from avoiding dying and killing other people for the sake of the country, for their women to turn around and be like, oh yeah, we're independent now. Yeah, good job, America, on that one. Miss Independent. Huh. And then what do you see? Situations where serial killers like Ted Bundy, perfect example. He was sexy to these women. That's the thing. I grew up being told, oh, women don't care about looks as much as men do. Women care all about your personality. No, the fuck they don't. If my ugly ass was out here serial killing, you think I'ma have women sending me letters? You know, if my story was prominent, and my story wouldn't be prominent because I'm an ugly nigga. So nobody would care. But if you're hot, if you're a hot, sexy dude and you have killed people, wow, he's mysterious. Maybe he didn't do it. I can't believe that a sexy person would kill people. There's just no way. And then here come all these women defending it. They act like they know something about the courts and how to be a lawyer. And they want to play quarterback or armchair lawyer for these court cases. Like, well, the prosecutors are wrong. And you know, female nature is horrendous. I get Why? Even cultures to this day arrange marriages. When these chicks are left to their own devices, they'll go through all the worst people. It's it in this documentary with Wade Wilson, the first woman who was talking was like one of his first girlfriends. She was getting her ass whooped by this guy. She would not press charges. He'd go to jail and she would bail him out. Beat him to keep him. Keep him by beating him, I guess. Like, so many stories on TV, in real life, women in my life, women in other people's lives. It's like clockwork that women will get their asses beat on a regular basis by these dudes and just be like, well, I don't think he'll do it again. He never hit me before. It wasn't that bad. I can fix him. Meanwhile, the better and nicer you are and the more you take care of a woman and quote unquote simp for her, the more she hates you. The more she has no respect for you. Oh, look at this fucking loser. Look, see this guy over here? He does everything for me. He buys me shit. He takes me play. He does exactly what I want, and he's a fucking loser. Meanwhile, the other woman over here is getting beat half to death, nose broken, trying to kill her. Well, but I love him. But I love him. He would never do that usually. I hate it out here, man. It's ghetto out here. It is so ghetto out here. And we spent so much time protecting women from themselves, and now they've turned around and just, we're like, nah, that's oppression. You leave us alone. We're independent. We're the same as men. We're equal. And fuck you if you think otherwise. You're a bigot. You're a misogynist. You hate women. Whatever. And now what do we see? Not only are these women obsessed and in love with serial killers and psychopaths, they also are out here going to these protests, literally sacrificing their lives for the Democrat Party, okay? Getting killed and defending illegal immigrants that are child rapists, murderers. I heard someone make a good point, because a lot of these women are childless. So every issue and bad circumstance to a woman is an infant. If she doesn't have kids, every cause is an infant for women. So they see a cause, and if they're childless, well, I'm going to stand up for that cause. I'm going to be the hero. Stop oppressing those poor little baby cute immigrants who rape children. Stop oppressing them. Female nature. They will defend the worst shit to their deaths in order to feel virtuous and a part of the in crowd. If that's what everybody's doing, that's what they're doing. Getting killed for it. Female nature is something that has to be harnessed and controlled, because without real men who are actually normal, not serial killers, without us to control their nature, we see what happens. That one got me on a rant mode, but man, I'm sick. I'm just sick. And I don't know if I'll ever have a family or anything at this point. Just work and fucking die. The only chance I have is if I'm a serial killer. Maybe I'll get the woman of my dreams. But I'm ugly, so never mind.